Campari House, drinks community coming in, and have a chat with Bhavia and Mia. They're here. Hey guys. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, really good. Hey guys, thanks for having us down. We're just going to have a quick chat about what you guys do here, who you are, and what kind of experience you're gaining around. So if you want to introduce yourself, like your name and what you do here.
Of course, so I'm Bhavia. I'm the marketing intern for Aperol, as well as I work on other brands as well. So I do a bit more corporate stuff as well. But I joined in August, straight out of uni.
Fresh out of uni?
Fresh out of uni.
Wow, nice. How was that?
Loved it. I was ready to get out. I've done 2 degrees and I was ready to get into the working world.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. That's often a change. People
Yeah.
need to have a year off, but you're just
No.
desperate.
Straight
to get
through,
into it.
yeah.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm Mia. I'm digital marketing apprentice, so working mostly on Aperol like Bhavia, but also across the other brands, across all digital channels, so social, email, website, etc. And I also joined in August, moving on from sixth form where I did my A-levels and was also a part-time waitress.
wow, okay. So again, fresh out, just desperate to get
Desperate to
involved.
get into the working world.
Amazing. So experience-wise, you worked in bars before?
Yeah, so I was a waitress / bartender at the Tiger Inn, which was the Kent County winner for National Pub and Bar Awards, which is
Amazing.
great to be part of that.
Yeah.
And it kind of gave me that hospitality experience that attracted me to this industry.
Amazing. And were they good about you applying for the role here?
Yeah, they were super supportive, got some really good references from them, and they were just very keen for me to get going with the career they knew I was so passionate about.
Oh, that's so good. That makes such a difference.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
definitely.
And how about you, Bhavia? What was your background coming into this?
So my background, basically I grew up moving around a lot, different countries. My father was a diplomat, which meant that I was attending a lot of events with him from a very young age. I even jumped in and helped basically cater at an event, like really ad hoc, really fun. But I've always enjoyed anything within the industry, and I was really keen to get my hands in it as well.
That's great. All good transferable skills.
Oh,
to
absolutely.
Get ready to go.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so how did you find out about the opportunities available here and yeah, if you've got any more to say about that? Was it an easy process? Was it difficult?
Yeah, the process was pretty straightforward. I found the job online, I think it was LinkedIn if I'm not wrong.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that platform. And I'd applied, easy apply, kind of very straightforward, and then a couple of months later I was contacted while I was actually on holiday.
Nice.
So I did my initial interview in a rural castle in Scotland.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, very picturesque, very random. And quite quickly was called back for a second interview with my then line manager, and joined the following month.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very straightforward, very quick.
Great, how exciting.
Yeah, pretty similar for me actually. So I was initially looking at digital apprenticeships, and I applied on the government website where Campari Group were going through an external employment provider called Inspire ATA. So I applied through there and also had my initial interview on the morning of my maths A-level exam. So funny story there, but it went really well. Got a call back, came in for a presentation, And it all went so well that the next day they offered me the job, which I was really happy about, and of course took it.
Incredible. How did the maths A level go?
I got a C.
You got a C. C for Campari.
But I was expecting to, C for Campari, there you go. I was expecting to fail, so.
Oh, great.
I mean, that's a positive.
I got a C.
Yeah.
I got a C as well. So yeah, I think I'm really chuffed with that. Yeah.
It was enough.
Yeah, exactly. You know what you want. Nice. And in terms of Campari as a brand, what did you know about it before you started here? Did you have like any sort of notions of kind of what it was like? Was it intimidating? Where did you kind of see it as in terms of branding?
So I actually didn't know a lot about the group in general, but I had heard of some of its brands.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was kind of meant to be, because I'd literally had my first Aperol Spritz not long before I applied for the job.
Nice.
So I felt like a preview of what this job was going to be like. But yeah, so that one, and then Ray Nephews, there's a few brands here and there which you do here, and Campari obviously is quite a huge one across globally actually.
Sure.
So I had heard of it, but quite quickly after joining, you kind of get a sense of what it's like to work here, and everyone's super welcoming, very warm, and really keen to get you stuck right in. So yeah, that was kind of my experience with it.
Yeah, I always knew that Campari Group had a diverse portfolio of brands. Didn't necessarily know exactly about every single one of them,
Sure.
but now I kind of do. And I could tell just from skimming over their website in the past that they have really good ethics, really good morals, very good when it comes to sustainability, working environment, and that sense of community in your place of employment.
Yeah.
So I had kind of good vibes coming from them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's again just got to get on the right foot. You don't want to get somewhere and then kind of think, oh gosh, I've ended up somewhere.
Yeah.
It definitely gave me confidence that I was going to end up somewhere good, somewhere right for me.
Yeah, amazing. And then in terms, so you deal with brand marketing.
Yeah.
And Mia, your digital marketing.
Yes.
Is that something that you knew you wanted to specialise in? Is this something that you've you've kind of always had that sort of preference, or is it something that you've kind of been still working out?
Yeah, for me, I always knew I wanted to go into marketing as a career. It wasn't until I kind of joined sixth form and was doing my A-levels that I realised digital was something I was more interested in. So I kind of put two and two together when I've had a massive interest in social media, and obviously digital branches like widely outside of just that. So I was always looking at digital marketing apprenticeships when I was applying online, occasionally marketing with like specialism in social media, content, etc. But yeah, I'm really glad that I kind of landed the exact job role that I was looking for in the first place.
Amazing. That's rare, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking online, there were quite a lot of opportunities and things to choose from for digital marketing because it's becoming increasingly popular, it's in demand.
Sure.
So I guess I got quite lucky there.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Bhavia, tell us a bit more about sort of brand marketing in general.
Cool. So brand marketing is a bit of everything, I'd say. You do work a lot on kind of making sure that your brand is represented to exactly kind of our brand identity versus our brand image. So kind of what we want our brand to look like versus what it actually looks like to a consumer. So a lot of it is consumer facing when it comes to events, when it comes to pop-ups, activations, but we do also work quite closely with digital in terms of organic social, paid social, and just basically top of mind awareness, putting our brand out there. And I mean, mainly working on Aperol, it's so orange, it's hard to miss. So you want to get that colour out as far and wide as you possibly can.
Yeah, nice. That's just that in general. So you kind of have something which is really iconic. And Campari sort of group is really iconic brand. So you've got a lot to kind of live up to. Do you feel the pressure of it, or is it just you have the freedom to kind of have fun with it?
I think it's a bit of both.
Sometimes it's like a good pressure. Like, you know, you've got all this responsibility and you're working with such cool and iconic brands that are just continuing to grow. And for me, it's like it's so fun to be part of that process that sometimes you forget really how daunting it can actually be. Just go with the flow, really, in my point of view.
Yeah, amazing. So in terms of projects that you've been working on, is there anything that's been particularly memorable at all? Either of you? Might be the same one, might be something different.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked on a lot of stuff together actually, so I think we can agree on most of these. The first big one for me was probably Winter Wonderland. So we had the Aperol Spritz bar / minivan pop up there, and we went for the whole day to do a video and photo shoot on the space, on the activation, and then the video and photos were to be put across digital channels, including social media. So that was really fun, like directing the shoot, leading it from myself and Bhavia. Having that creative control was something new to me, and it was just really fun to do. And then we also did some in-house content creation for Aperol Spritz for the organic social Instagram page, where we did the perfect serve recipe, we did a bit of aperitivo with Aperol Spritz kind of thing, and those videos performed like significantly well against our other content. So trialing that new style of content that has kind of come from Gen Z, TikTok, that kind of thing. It's just performed really well, and being able to do that in-house and kind of put our creativity to the test was something really great.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was going to ask again, like in terms of capturing like the kind of engagement of that Gen Z audience and the younger audience, is there anything that you think brands should be doing in particular? Is there something you find yourself doing that sort of speaks to that audience?
I think Gen Z, or kind of like our generation, they tend to jump on kind of whatever's current and trending. A lot of it kind of via social media. So TikTok's a huge one, Instagram, so those kind of platforms, whether it's kind of sounds or dances or something really random that can just basically go viral.
Sure.
Jumping on that, so it's what we call reactive content, and I think that's quite a big one for us.
I'd also recommend for other people that want to learn more about Gen Z and that kind of culture, if you want to call it that, connect with those kind of people, talk to them in your workspace, ask them questions if you're ever unsure about what's going on, what's the latest trend, that kind of stuff. Just connect with them and talk with them, because that one-on-one interaction is the way that you're going to learn most, rather than just researching about it.
Yeah, that's it. Or sometimes people are too set in their ways. They kind of feel like they don't want to just sort of, just bite the bullet and reach out to the people direct. I think that kind of way of like that old school marketing has had to have a massive shake-up. Is there something that you think 5 years down the line we are all going to be doing, or something that's coming in that's really trending?
I mean, I think it's already happening, but digital, not to be biased to my role, is becoming such a massive thing in marketing. In 5 years' time, definitely all kind of brand marketing and traditional marketing is going to have a massive shift, so that there are ways of working where digital is involved in everything. So even there's things coming out like artificial intelligence in Microsoft, Google, writing those emails for you, which kind of sounds insane, but I think in 5 years' time that kind of stuff is going to be the norm. We're going to have that AI writing our everyday emails for us.
But also writing copy and things like
Copy,
that.
content.
I saw something yesterday actually. My friend showed me this AI where you can just type in a paragraph about a scene, let's say. So 3 people sat around a table drinking Aperol, and it just generates it immediately. And then you can literally do anything, and it just designers are all like, people must just be like looking over their shoulder, like, where do we?
You can do the same with images, probably videos at some point. Like, it's weird to think, because maybe some people's jobs are going to be eliminated because of that, but then equally it's going to enhance people's jobs, like myself.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. You just need to stay on top of things.
Stay aware.
And between both of you, what you do you find it difficult, like balancing a sort of traditional method of of marketing versus digital? There's obviously still a massive place for just the kind of offline methods. Is that something that you see?
I think that's something that we're kind of embracing wholly, because you need that marketing mix. You need a kind of omni-channel approach. So we don't want to necessarily eliminate a target of a population just to kind of be like, because we're putting everything on digital. It doesn't make sense. We want to be as inclusive and reach as many people as we can. So I think digital is a massive part of that. But then again, something that I also see is quite a big thing currently are like immersive experiences, which are more kind of physical, in person. People can kind of go to these venues where it's a partnership between a couple of brands, and they basically, people can go there and kind of step out of reality. So it's a bit of AI, it's a bit of mix of everything. So I think we're kind of embracing that.
Definitely. I mean, it's not the same for every company, is it? But I can confidently say that here we are embracing it, and there's no like siloed ways of working. Specifically in the marketing team, we're all working together across our different roles.
As we're speaking to the community, is there anything in terms of advice or tips that you have for anyone who's looking to get into sort of drinks marketing roles, who maybe works in a bar? Do you have any advice for them?
Well, one obvious one would be networking, wouldn't it? So the drinks community definitely gives like a strong platform to be able to do that, so you utilise it. And also kind of have confidence in what you're doing. If you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel kind of thing, you're really not, and you can work your way up as long as you have confidence in what you're doing and a passion for what you're doing especially. Just have confidence in yourself.
That's it. Surrounding yourself by good people as best you can. That's not always easy, but if there's somebody that really believes in you, it's so important having that.
To build on that is not only networking, but even on the platform when you see kind of what other people within the industry are doing, is to not be scared to ask those questions. Even in person, I've had people come up to me and kind of ask me what the best way is to get into the industry or get into the company or within marketing. And it's just, don't be scared to ask those questions, because it's going to be ever changing. It's not static, it's not stagnant. Genuinely just kind of. That's
it. It's amazing as well, because you guys are just at the beginning of your career.
Absolutely.
Go on.
Even as an apprentice, like at the very beginning of my career, like you said, I still have people in my LinkedIn inbox asking, how can I get an opportunity like this? Are there any roles open? And obviously I'm happy to like give my advice and help at that stage, but I mean, I'm still kind of at the position that they are in. I'm still building up my career. So it's really nice to see that people are eager to get into it and they're open to asking.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, because asking the question is just that step, isn't it? Because you can think that people can sort of think, oh, it's not for me, and not really know exactly what route to take. And often you work in bars, you're busy, it's late nights, you're kind of on shift work. You often don't have time to sort of think about planning out this perfectly structured career. But I think just talking to people is a huge thing.
Also, like in the on-trade, there is a lot of marketing that happens on a daily basis, I feel like. Whether it's making cocktails, whether you're teaching cocktails, I think a lot of bartenders do also get behind like their phones or the kind of cameras, and they do record their own reels, which is quite a big one as well on digital, but kind of just getting behind and testing out and building on those skills that you already have.
Yeah, that's it. Finding out what you like, what you don't.
Absolutely,
what you're good at. So in terms of those transferable skills, from behind a bar or working in pubs in any sort of role, what kind of things do you have things in mind that you think really relate specifically to your role and what you've seen sort of in the last year or so?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, marketing isn't just like digital, it's or kind of traditional, like you said earlier. It's a bit of everything. So for example, working in the on-trade, you see firsthand kind of what an experience is. So when it comes to experiential marketing, that's a huge kind of asset or a huge transferable skill, where you can kind of you've seen what it's like to be a consumer, you've worked behind the bar, so you kind of get both perspectives and you can put that into practice. You meet a lot of people, so very, very interactive and people facing, so very good at that kind of communication, which is great for influencers and PR. And obviously kind of getting behind the screen and making content yourself, trial and error, and kind of seeing what works for your particular venue or yourself. So yeah, I do think there's a lot of transferable skills that if you kind of just refine them or kind of make them a bit more tangible, incredibly applicable to kind of our roles.
Yeah, thinking on a personal level, to back when I was waitressing, it definitely gave me like a lot more confidence. I felt like I had a lot more responsibility, and I think that was really beneficial when I then moved into this role, because I had the confidence to build my networking skills, build my digital skills, ask questions, ask for help when I needed to.
Mia, you are an apprentice.
Yeah.
And you're an intern.
Yeah.
How does that differ, and in what way?
Yeah, so my role isn't very structured in terms of I'm basically kind of straight into the workforce, kind of get given projects, but I am learning in a more practical sense. So it's nothing kind of like uni where you've got your lectures and you've got coursework and you've got kind of those tests that kind of track your progress, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of intern.
Yeah, and for me, I've obviously got that practical work experience going on, but I'm also completing a qualification, so level 3 in digital marketing, and that's fully funded by the government, which is great. So I've got all my coursework going on where I write up about my projects, so taking all of the experience in Campari Group and then applying that to my coursework with my apprenticeship. And then I'll also go through an EPA, which is an endpoint assessment. So my final exam where they test my knowledge, I'll have a mock interview. So applying everything that I've learned at that final stage.
Amazing. So I mean, you're used to the whole maths exam and interview.
Yeah.
So you're just day after day, just doing one after the other. That's fine. Is that quite stressful or less stressful than you thought, or is it sort of
at
quite
the moment
nice?
I'm able to balance it quite well. So obviously I've got to take my own personal time to complete that coursework, find moments throughout the day where I'm able to do that. However, knowing that our very busy period is coming up this summer, I'm kind of anticipating that I'm not going to be on the ball with that, but I've got like a nice little bank of work ready for if I'm not able to in the summer, and then I can pick that back up again in September and hopefully finish it all off.
Amazing, amazing. I forgot to ask, have you got any sort of sneak preview, exciting projects that you're working on that you can tell us about?
I don't think we can say any specifics.
Right.
It won't be long until you know the specifics.
Okay, sounds nice.
But we've got like big plans coming for the summer. You're going to be seeing orange everywhere.
Yeah.
We can put it that way.
Take the words right out of my mouth.
And just keep up to date on the Instagram, I'd say, because we'll post everything that's going on there. And especially if you're in any big cities, London especially, we're going to be there basically.